Gary and I have known each other for, I want to say 8 or 9 years, maybe not that long, maybe eternity, I don't know. But he's somebody I entirely admire. I love his spirit, and he is a transformational relationship coach who helps people rewrite the rules of love in their brains. How cool is that? This allows amazing shifts to happen in a very short period of time so that people can have the extraordinary relationships they want and deserve. Dr. Salyer speaks to a national audience as a featured expert and also various celebrity TV and radio shows like Hay House Radio. Ever heard of that one? That's right. His life purpose is to change a generation's fate with love. Gary is the creator of the Safe to Love Again workshop and the Extraordinary Couples Retreat and other Extraordinary Couples programs. He is also the author of the forthcoming book, I'm so proud of you, Safe to Love Again, How to Release the Pain of Past Relationships and Attract Your Soulmate. Dr. Gary offers a unique blend of neuro-linguistic programming, amazing stuff, Bert Hellinger's work, Family Systems, which is off the charts amazing, and approaches attachment theory and the science of relationships. Please help me welcome Dr. Gary Salyer to the stage.
Thank you, Kimmy. And thank you, Rebecca, for allowing me to be a part of your beautiful community again. Would you like me to tell you a secret? Yes. Some of you have seen the book sitting back there on my table. And I want you to know that you're the reason I wrote the book. This is the community that I've always considered to be my home community. I used to, when I was traveling around the country, sometimes I'd call up Rebecca and say, how come you keep having events the same time I'm doing Austin or something? And I so miss this community. And over the years, I heard what you said. Some of you would share with me, Gary, I just want a man who sees the amazing woman that I am. Gary, I just want to know that I can be loved and cherished. Is there a man out there that would commit to me that we can build this thing called love together? And I heard the pain of not being seen and the pain of not being worthy to be committed to or not being cherished. And eventually I decided it was time to write the book. As I went across the country, I began to notice that those flavors of pain showed up in lots of different generations. Showed up in the Gen Xers, showed up in the Boomers, showed up in the Millennials. I was speaking in Newport Beach in an event where the men were on one side and the women were on another. And a young woman, 28, 32, had that sort of all-American girl next door look, asked me the question. She goes, Gary, I don't know what's going on there with love and relationships anymore. She goes, the last 5 men I have dated have all broken up with me 3 or 4 months into the relationship. And I think it's going good and I'm falling in love. And the next thing I know, he says, baby, you're a wonderful woman, but there might be somebody better out there. I gotta go back on Tinder. And with complete exasperation, she goes, what am I, chopped liver? That generation isn't even getting their famed divorces. They get broke up sometimes 3, 4, and 5 times in a 2-year period. Flash forward about a year later. I'm speaking in Austin, and they had a singer at the event, 6'2" guy, blonde, blue eyes, too good looking for his own good, about 35. And afterwards, he comes up to me and says, you know, Gary, I love your message, Safe to Love Again. What a great message. He says, but I don't think you know what's going on out there. I go, well, just enlighten me. Let me know what's going on out there. He says, Gary, he says, I'm actively looking. I'm 35, and I would love to find a woman who would want to settle down and create a family for me. And I thought of the woman from Newport Beach, But he says, but you don't know what it's like. He says, a lot of these women have been jacked with by 4 or 5 different men. And now they're flighty. He says, my father raised horses, and sometimes we would adopt an abused pony, and that pony would buck you. It would try to bite you. He says, some of these women are like abused ponies. All they want to do is buck you because of what the last guy did to them. That's what it means to be unsafe to love again. That's what it means when generation has lost its GPS for love. Now, the one thing I know, and I talk about it in the book, is that both of these people were picking partners because they had lost their internal compass for what real love is. And that's why I wrote the book, to give people back their natural compass for love. We all deserve love. It's a birthright of the universe. Would you like to know what that GPS is that you've had for a long time within you? Well, it turns out that there are 4 things that tell your brain that you are loved. 4 cornerstones of every lasting relationship you've ever seen. And those are 4 feelings, and your brain has been running them since you've been 1 year old. Those 4 feelings are welcomed with joy, worthy and nourished to have your needs met, cherished and protected, and empowered with choice. And we know that it is more important than any limiting belief. How many of you have ever heard that what's at the base of your problem must be a limiting belief? How many of you have ever heard of limiting beliefs and those are the problems? Well, what we know from attachment theory is that by the time a child is 1 year old, we can find out by the way, if you separate a child from their mother, based on the way they come back to the mom, we can tell what sort of love style they have. And that love style will track for the rest of their life unless there's an intervention. If the child, when they return to the mom, cries a little bit and calms down and then goes back out and plays with the toys, we call that a secure love style. It's as if, I knew mom was going away, but I knew she was coming back. I could count on her. And there she is. And now I can go out and play. I can have my life. I can be supported. Now, if the child comes back and they are so upset they can barely calm themselves, and sometimes they'll even hit mom and they don't want to go out and play, and there's all this drama, they become the anxious. And, later on in life, they're the ones that say, you didn't text me within 10 minutes. Or, do you still love me? Do you still love me? Or, where were you last night? Now, some other babies, mom comes back and they're over playing in the toys. And it looks like they're such calm little babies. But these babies have already checked out. They knew mom wasn't available. And so they just keep playing with the toys. And although they look precocious and mature, these become Mr. or Ms. Avoidant. Mr. or Ms. I won't commit. Now, what tells a 1 year old baby they could be loved? Well, all limiting beliefs come from this part of the brain, and unfortunately, it doesn't come online until you're 3. So it's not a limiting belief. It's not your story. It's not your identity. The only thing running at 1 are 4 feelings. Based on a lot of things that's in the book. And I can't go as much depth as I'd like to, but I can tell you if you want more depth than what I can go here on my website, GarySalyer.com, on the right side is Love Notes from Dr. Gary. It's a video introduction to the book, 2 to 4 minutes a piece. Sign up, you'll get way more than what I can give you now. But we know these 4 feelings are what tells that secure child they are loved. And the funny thing is, these 4 feelings, when that child grows up, are going to tell them how to pick a partner, how to create a relationship, how to maintain a relationship. And those 4 feelings of welcomed and worthy and cherished and empowered are the ones that become their reference feelings for every relationship they will ever choose or they will ever create or maintain. This is the difference between those who go on and pick really good partners and what we saw going on with the lady at Newport Beach and the gentleman in Austin. Welcome with joy. Let's talk about that for a minute. Welcome with joy is that beautiful feeling that you have a place in the universe, that the earth and the world and your life and your body is a warm, cozy place, and you are surrounded by a cocoon of welcoming love. And how we experience this is you wake up in the morning and your partner says, "Good morning, gorgeous." Well, you come home from work at night, and maybe, you've had a long day, and your partner says, "Come over here, baby. It looks like you need a hug." That's what welcomed with. Now, it's that beautiful feeling. Now, I am welcome to be here. I want you to get that feeling yourself right now. How would you like to get a little bit of that hit of that reference feeling? I want you to turn to somebody at the table with you, and you're going to say 2 things to each other. You will both say, "I am here," and then you will respond to the other, "So glad you are." So take a second and turn to somebody and say, "I am here. So glad you are." I am here. So glad you are. I am here. So glad you are. That's what welcomed feels like. Now, in the book, I talk about Jason. Jason came to me some years ago, and he was on 13 websites. And on 70 or 80 dates, he had only 1 or 2 second dates. And he wanted to know what was going on. And the very first session, he's talking to me, and as he's talking to me, his eyes are going everywhere. And I'm going, well, I think I have one of the clues. Jason was never welcomed into the world. He was the result of an unwanted pregnancy. And Dad let him know every minute of his day, "What you're costing me." Mom wasn't so hip on it too. He had the feeling of unwelcomed so much that he didn't even want to make eye contact with these rejecting parents. Better to look away than to get that look of scorn that you're not welcome. He came by it naturally. And that's what he did. He could only give unwelcome because that's all he had received. That was his reference feeling. But the moment we allowed him to settle into his body and to settle into life and love, to have a right to be welcomed with joy, well, he's a happily married man. When you can't be welcomed with joy, you can't be present either. But when you can be present to yourself and you have that beautiful right to be welcomed with joy, it allows you to reach out and connect in a way that welcomes, and then it becomes a beautiful welcoming party. The second feeling is worthy and nourished. Now, this is the one that I think stops more people in their tracks than any I've met in my 10 years of working this new system of attachment with my clients. Because when you don't feel worthy, a lot of people won't even reach out for the help they need because they don't feel worthy. And worthy is the right to know that you have the right to reach out and ask for your needs. The way a little baby reaches out for a hug or for that bottle. And when we don't have that, we feel undeserving or unworthy, or the term you hear most of all is, "I'm not good enough. I'm not enough." You hear the word enough and you know this one's missing. So what I want you to do is just imagine in yourself a slider. A little slider from 1 to 10. You know how you go, like, and I want you to think for just a moment, how worthy do you feel? 1 to 10. Got that number? Now check in with your body. Check in with your body. Is it different? Because this one's a very body-based one. Yeah. Worthy and nourished is a body-based thing. Now, a lot of times when we don't feel worthy, we reach out to love with what I call little alligator arms. We're afraid to reach out, so we reach out. So I want you to just imagine for just a second, stand up for a second, and I want you to imagine reaching out with little alligator arms. I'm going to reach out for love like this. This is, now reaching out, just get a feel for what it's like to have all your body all tight. You can't reach out. And now I want you to imagine you have a full right to feel worthy and nourished. Reach out to the universe. Notice how good that feels. Reach out for love. Reach out for your soulmate. Reach out for that partner beside you at night that lights up your day. That's what it feels like. Yes. Cherished and protected. That's a very popular one, especially with women. If you're a man, it probably comes in as appreciated, or someone's got my back. Cherished and protected is the great feeling that we can be a me, but in an empowering way. It's when the little one is over here playing, but they know mom has the back. You ever notice how a child is always looking over their feeling? What's it like to know that somebody has your back? Like that whole song by Gershwin, I just wish some speed that someone was looking over me. This is the feeling. And every time I have ever met a couple in distress, it's because they don't have the right to be a me within an empowering we. And just for the record, if you're out there in single land and you're looking for a man or a woman, you are looking for signs of the we. How good are they at creating a we and not just a me? Now, when we have a right to be a me in a we, not one or the other, not enmeshed, just as a we, that's when we can create a powerful union with our beloved. And then there's empowered with choice. Psychologist Terry Real has a great saying. Without voice, there is no relationship. And without a relationship, there is no voice. Every great relationship empowers you with choice and voice. And when you have that, things are magical. I've worked with a couple. They're in the book too, Chris and Judy. She had a missing right to really feel that she could belong, and he had a missing right to feel empowered. And it all came to a head when over Christmas his ex-wife said, "We don't want the new one. We're not going to celebrate." And so he had no ability to create his own experience, no ability to be empowered. So he said, "To keep the peace, I'll leave her out." What do you think that hit with her? Oh, it hit her old wound of I can't belong. And then she came right after him and made him even more disempowered. But when we gave him back a full right to feel empowered with choice, then he could choose to include her. And when he could include her, she could empower him. They went from engaged to happily married. So that's what's at the base of a really secure love style. And I want you to know that you deserve to have every last one of those feelings up and running in your life. And if there's any other feeling, it's going to control. If you have any other feeling, it will attract a partner like that and create a relationship. Love needs a helping hand, and it needs a good compass. Come talk to me later, and we can talk about what we can do about it. And thank you. You're all so worthy to have love in your life. Thank you. Thank you.
Are you a speaker looking to reach more people with your message? You have a global vision that you want to touch the world and make a global difference. If so, I have an amazing opportunity for you. It's called the Speaker Talent Search. Again, that's the speakertalentsearch.com. You'll find all the details, but here are the highlights. With one application process, you get clarity on your message. You get to fine-tune how you want to reach the world. Then you'll have everything ready in one place for the opportunities when they come. Second, we select you as a finalist. You get to come in and audition with a 7-minute audition, open up the door to hundreds of speaking opportunities. I hope you lean in. I hope you say yes. We would love to hear your message. Help you touch the world powerfully. Again, that's the speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your powerful message. Hi, I'm Rebecca Hallgreiter, and I am the producer of the Empowered Connections TV channel. And I wanted to personally invite you to come on over, enjoy our amazing shows. We are all about empowering women. We're all about transforming lives. We're empowering men to really step out and be all they can be. We are looking for programming and shows to bring things to the next level. So if you are somebody that feels a show birthing within you, you have a calling to bring your show to life and touch the world, please reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. We are launching new programs and shows every week, every month, because we're going to change the world. I look forward to talking to you.